Okay, so in between streams, I sold a lot of items, and this video is going to be a very quick moving video, I guess you could say, because I'm ready to, you know, get some things done here. So first things, I went to Grandier and bought mussels and glands. This is something if you have the money to get this, definitely want to get mussels and glands as quickly as possible, because it gives you access to strength. Strength is a very valuable, one of the more valuable areas of magic. And so now you'll access adrenaline, which is a very good skill. I also decided, just for fun, I also bought Panaka's Last Stand, which is a very important. It'll give you 5 to defense. This is a pretty valuable book, obviously. You want to get that one. If you have the money. I didn't have the money at the time, but you get that one. What is this? Oh, I just passed him mussels and glands, but you want to give him Panaka's Last Stand as quickly as possible. This one is actually, I believe it may have been, and I think it was in Takoro. You actually could have had access to that one in Takoro. And then I also, for fun, I bought one last book. Just for fun, I bought Elder's Tale. After the Gerolf War, before the first wave of mages ascended to power, there stood in what would become the province of Takor a small farming town called Laren. And though the town is now many generations gone, and even the stone fireplaces are dust in the fields, it will always be remembered as a place where Helder, the blacksmith, worked his forge. The people of the town regarded Helder with affection, and it must also be said that they regarded him with a certain awe. The many years of pounding iron into horseshoes and plowshares had given him the strength of a cart horse and arms like a terang, and so his business prospered. Now, there came one day to the town of Laren a traveling show with dancers and joymen, fire eaters and tricksters, and even a tame jaeger who watched the crowd through half-shut eyes. And they swept into town with a laugh and the jingle of cart trappings, and suddenly the world seemed brighter and full of wonder. And even Halder was drawn from his shop by the sound of the merry procession. That night they performed in their encampment by the edge of town. Bright lanterns and streamers festooned the trees, their flickering colors making the wood look even darker outside of the ring of firelight. And fully a third of the townsfolk gathered to watch their show. The dancers juggled scarves and knives. The tricksters turned apples into birds, and the jaeger permitted the beast handler to rub its belly. But the festive crowd grew quiet as the show's end drew near, for the last act was always the most improbable. As it happened, the last performer to enter the clearing that night was a lanky, thin man with a nose like a hawk's beak and a diffident smile. He gestured, and 4 burly horse handlers carefully carried a full-size anvil to the center of the clearing. Still smiling and with great flourish, the thin man bent and astonishingly lifted the anvil clear off the ground. And Helder, intrigued, determined to ask the man the secret of his great strength, for he looked no more muscled than a boy. After the performance, as the townsfolk reluctantly abandoned the clearing to return to their homes, Helder the blacksmith circled the clearing in the hopes of getting a word with the strong man. But before he could step from the trees, he heard a man's voice in low tones whispering unwelcome words. The voice said that the town had been scouted. It would be simple to rob, so long as most of the townsfolk were present at the following night's performance. Another voice replied scornfully that they could not help but come, since word would sweep through the town of a man who could lift anvils. Curiosity would sweep through the town of a man who curiosity would bring them. The first man replied placatingly, saying the potion was the second man's finest creation yet. Helder controlled his temper, an essential skill for a man of his size. Hidden just inside the woods, he pondered and yelled and waited. Late that night, when the performers were well into their cups, he crept forth and let himself into the strong man's tent. He emerged a few minutes later with a smile on his face and a sheaf of hastily gathered notes. Then as now, mages made their own way in the world. Some sought power, others solitude, and some clung to the simple life of the village where they grew up. Laren had one such mage, and it was to this woman that Helder brought his purloined recipe. Next, he stepped at the Laughing Cat Tavern, where he dropped a terse word in the ears of the few people he trusted most. But the following evening, all was ready. Almost every man, woman, and child in town attended that evening's performance. As the trail master prepared to begin the show, Helder stepped to the edge of the clearing and called for the strong man to perform. His friends throughout the crowd took up the call, and soon the entire audience clamored to see the strong man. Anxious to calm the crowd so his men could slip away to begin their thievery, the trail master called the strong man forth. Surprised but confident, he took a swig from his wineskin and stepped into the firelight. When his anvil was brought before him, he awed the crowd by lifting it completely off the ground. Helder took a drink from his own aleskin and stepped forward. He laughed and said that as a smith he should be able to lift the anvil. The amused strong man stood back and motioned Helder to the anvil. His smile turned to puzzlement when Helder hefted the anvil with ease. "A trick," cried Helder. "This anvil is no heavier than a small boy. Why, my own sister could lift it." The audience muttered, and when Helder's sister did in fact emerge from the crowd and lift the anvil, the mutters turned to curses and well-aimed rocks. Outraged at the thievery, they drove the panicked performers and would-be thieves from the town and lands. As for Helder, he and his sister brought the anvil to his smithy before the potion wore off. What smith could turn down that much high-quality iron? Many years later, he gave the whole story to his friends at the Laughing Cat, and as they laughingly passed the tale on to others, the potion which made it possible acquired his name. So basically, it's just a story telling you the origin of Helder's brew. As you can see, I have all these pearls here. When I say I sold a lot of things, I'm not kidding. I sold a lot of things and bought a lot of pearls, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. But right now, Simon told me that he buried the shepherd medallion in his garden, and I'm right outside his house in Ravenna. Not wanting to destroy Simon's carefully planted garden, the companions spent several minutes turning the loose soil between the rows. Finally, their efforts were rewarded with a small glint of metal through the dark earth. I now have a shepherd medallion. I'm now going to go do one last quest. It looks like I got this tree idol in Chorus Landing from Jägermeister, but we know whose tree this is, and I'm going to show it to him. One of the things that's so annoying is they just keep asking you, I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired, you're tired, you're tired. Take a rest. I'm trying to go to East Bank. I believe that's where it was. But, you know, of course, you know, they just want to keep telling me that I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired. I forgot to mention, I also decided to buy a kinetic staff for, and I'm going to show you that how that works when in my next battle. The door opened and Aaron approached the house. And we have the same thing when we just show him the tree idol. William tried to hand the statue to Sumner, who barely caught a glimpse of it before turning away in disgust. I don't want that abomination. How dare you bring it to me? Now Aaron was completely confused. But we thought... I can't even look at it without feeling sick to my stomach. Please, for the sake of my house, go to the woods to the north, find the stump of our ancestral tree, and bury that thing as deep as you can. Wait. He said to the north, right? Alright, guys. Around. Yeah, I wish I would have planned this. It's here. Or not north? Look around, I don't see this fucking one. Fuck is it? And I know what direction north is. Sorry guys, I'm like, I don't know what the... I thought that the stump was over here. I mean, he said woods to the north, right? There it is. It's just very difficult to find. From the enormity of the stump, they surmised it had been a Chunese ancestral tree. Axe marks made it clear that the tree hadn't been felled by lightning or other natural occurrence. William and Aaron gingerly laid the idol at the bottom of the hole. There's half the job, Aaron said, glancing at the shovel with a sigh. William and Aaron buried the statue deep, filling the hole with dirt. After tamping down the soil with the shovel, they sat back for a moment's rest. Let's hope that's a proper end to it, said William, wiping his brow. Have you buried that repulsive object? Sumner asked with no preamble. Yes, we did exactly as you requested. Sumner's face softened from anger to sorrow. You have helped right a grievous wrong, lads. I'll ask a sister of Sanatron to bless the site, and with that, perhaps it will rest in peace. You troubled yourself with a favor for a stranger. For that I wish to give you this sapphire. It too has belonged to House Sumner for generations. Because you retrieved the fragment of ancestral tree, it is right that you receive another family keepsake in return. So he gave me a sapphire. Okay, I mean, obviously I don't really care that much about the sapphire, but you know, it's a quest. A quest is a quest. I did something nice for this guy, right? So now I'm going to go to Durst real fast, and then we're going to go to the and Friol. We never went to Friol. And then we'll go to the Shepherd headquarters. No comment. Oh, I think I told you earlier. I bought that you could buy pearls at Ormead, and that's kind of what I did. I bought a bunch of pearls at Ormead. So he's at 86.90. Okay, yeah, I'll do 3 more. Good. So now that their melee is at the maximum, so you don't have to click on anything other than those anymore. You know, anything else. Never click on melee again, which will allow all the other spells and things to go up faster. Farmer greeted the companions. We don't see many strangers in Friol. You're welcome to sleep in my barn if you like. The party thanked him for his kindness, then noticed his deeply pocked face and arms. I don't mean to be rude, but I couldn't help but notice you've had the pox. The farmer rubbed his face sadly. I'm one of the few survivors in Friol. Damn near the whole town was wiped out. This was one of the first places hit. The feeble pox came through, striking people down before the disease even had its name. The village is only now just beginning to get itself back on its feet. I'm sorry all of Antara was hit hard, but it sounds like Friol got more than its fair share. The farmer swallowed hard. Ain't nothing fair about feeble pox. It carried off my wife and children like they were twigs in a windstorm. You might recognize these people. A handsome young man opened the door. Don't I know you? Don't I know you, he said, a quizzical look on his face, then suddenly recognition dawned. He grabbed William's hand and pumped it vigorously. Then he called to someone inside the cottage. Charisse, my angel, come here. A beautiful girl with thick auburn hair appeared at his side. Who is it, Benji? Do you remember telling me how I lost the rings in a foolish attempt to keep you from marrying my brother? Yes, but what? The girl looked puzzled. William tried to help out. We merely cleared the road of Montari and found the rings. Benji did all the rest himself. After hearing so much about you from other sources, I am very pleased to meet you, Charisse. Charisse profusely thanked William and Aaron for aiding their elopement in Sortiga. Aaron asked, so you ran off to Friol? Isn't it a rather depressing village to live in? Benji put his arm around Charisse, drawing her close. We don't think so. Sure, the town went through bad times, but it's exciting having the chance to build something up from scratch, the triune willing. I can see how it would be at that. Did your father ever forgive you, Charisse? Charisse sighed. No, not yet, but he may when his first grandchild comes along. She laughed. Of course, Benji's brother is still furious. I'm afraid I proved a bad return on his investment. With just a trace of wistfulness, William wished the newlyweds Henny's blessing on their new life together. I'm sure you two will be blissfully happy together. Reese looked up at her husband. He met her gaze with love and a tinge of amazement at his good fortune. Yes, I'm sure we will. So sometimes there's a happy ending. No, it's just wait. Maybe this is the wrong one. It might be Durst. No, I'm sorry. So I'm leaving pearls for the next chapter. Nobody answered their knock, and the door held fast with all the shades pulled down on all the windows. They couldn't tell if the house was still occupied or not. Either way, it seemed best to move on. Same thing here. I'm gonna label those with my typical label when nobody's there. I'm gonna put this as a sack because that's like got something in there. Same thing in case I don't have enough shovels. I think I have enough. Bow. Don't want it though. I believe I have a fine bow just like that. This is your last chance to stock up on things you might need. I could probably use another hammer. Yeah, hopefully I have enough whetstones. If I need a bucket, I got one here.
Something tells me we don't want to go this way. Let's turn around.
I'm sure we'll go back this way. Kind of a waste of money, but you know, takes a lot less time. me do this just so we recall. We talked to Simon here.
We have reason to believe that the shepherds are now involved in more than grove bashing. They may be responsible for the kidnapping of the imperial consort. Can you tell us the location of shepherd headquarters?
Considering what's at risk, I'm surprised High Brother Mar didn't tell you himself. I told him all I knew about the shepherds during my indoctrination to the arm of Henna.
If it was a private conversation, I suspect he didn't want to break your confidence. Besides, we didn't think to ask him. Will you tell us?
The two of you plan to confront the shepherds at their home base? That's mad.
Fear not, Simon. We have too great...
Not if we want. Very well, though I don't see how you'll manage it. I will tell you all I know. The shepherds make their headquarters in a cave system near St. Adrian's Head, the lake northeast of Tokoro. You need a talisman to enter the caves.
Oh, there's Mackie.
Hello again.
Do you...
My soul. May the road.
It's kind of clever that they put these bunkies here. It's almost good enough to throw you off. Think that there's nothing here. Now this is kind of silly. Obviously, this is a game, but on the medallion it says RLR. See, where is it? So you're gonna have to go right, left, right. And then on the medallion again, you should be able to see on his staff, he tells you the staff has symbols on it. So, obviously it's a game, but it would not be smart for you to put those symbols on there, would it? To tell me which direction to go.
Something's happening. It's open. Hey!
Sometime earlier,
Running through the woods with Rawl, just like old times. It's a shame his training keeps him too busy to try game with me nowadays. Well, I guess neither one of us are carefree cubs anymore. Father finally let me go out hunting on my own. I was determined not to come back empty-handed. I had the rabbit in my sights, but just as I loosed my arrow, I retrieved my arrow and ran toward the noise, but I stopped dead in my tracks when I saw the bear. I was scared, but the poor girlfriend was trembling. I knew that shooting at the bear would only antagonize it into attack. There was only one thing I could do.
Go away, you stupid bear!
Much to my surprise, I scared that bear away. I guess it decided to go look for a meal that didn't make quite so much noise. I had to climb the tree and help Rawl down. I found out later that girls are afraid of heights, but I suppose Rawl was scared of the bear even more. We were inseparable after that. Father treated Rawl like a member of the family, and over time, Raw's pack accepted me as one of their own. I hope nothing's happened to Raw's pack, or my father.
We'll have to follow the road from here. We must be careful. Roving bands of shepherds have been causing trouble for girl travelers. If they see us,
They'll get more than they bargained for. It's been too long since we last saw each other, Rawl. How is your brother Garl?
he is far gone now. He found his spirit song 2 moons ago.
Garl, an adult now. I can't believe it.
All else is much the same, except Kerfarak has something to ask of you.
Your pack leader? What could he want of me?
I can only tell you that he wanted to talk to you even before the crisis in the woods.
You know what he wants, don't you? Tell me.
It is not my place to ask Kerfarak's question. I'm sorry, Lord.
Well. Look here, boys. This animal thinks he can travel on our road.
I think we should explain to him otherwise.
Kaelin,
We have no quarrel with you. Let us pass.
woman, stand aside so we can dispatch that dog at your heels.
I said, let us pass.
The only thing worse than the dogs are the dog lovers.
Things are about to get violent. It's so crazy how long it's been since I was back with her, with Kaylin. And you see how her skills are so much lower. This dude is wearing leather jerkin. Pretty sad. Keeping a very tight formation here because they outnumber us a lot. They're kind of strong, and we are not that well developed in strength. See about Raul is the dude is strong, but I mean, why wouldn't he be, right? He's basically the beast. Honestly, my only goal right here is to kill 2 of them, because they're obviously wearing much better armor than I'm wearing.
Carla's dumb. Those kinds should be skewered and roasted at birth. Raul, I'm sorry that these so-called humans are...
It's not the first time something like this has happened, and it won't be the last. Such incidents are getting more frequent, though. It's dangerous for girls to travel alone.
Well, at least there are a few less shepherds to worry about now.
kind of disappointed. I was hoping another one was wearing a breastplate. Maybe, I guess one of them got away. One of the guys carrying a breastplate. Oh well, I'm sure we'll fight them again.
We don't have the time for detours, Raul. My father might be in danger. I want to find him as quickly as possible.
Ambush! I can't sniff out how many.
These guys are such wusses. Look at them just run away. You remember the the cat. The door was opened by a slender girl with long auburn hair. Hi, I'm Phoebe. Kaylin introduced herself, and Raul, a huge orange cat, wrapped around Phoebe's legs, meowing loudly for attention. This is Louis. Louis raised his eyes and saw Raul for the first time. He hissed, fluffing up defensively until he was as big as a pumpkin. Guess he's never seen a giraffe before, Kaylin laughed. Or maybe he knows that giraffe are not fond of cats. Or maybe he knows the girl are very fond of cats for lunch, Raul said. At Phoebe's look of horror, Raul added, sorry, bad joke. Phoebe was flustered. I was going to ask you to come in, but now I don't think I will. Keelan sniffed and choked back a cough. That's all right. We should be going. As the companions walked back toward the main road, Raul said, you smelled it too. That woman's house reeked. Phoebe overheard the remark. She picked Louis up and kissed his ears. It's all right, big boy. You can't help being a smelly cat. All right, nobody's here. Nobody here this time. A man stood at the end of the path, calling, Toddy, Toddy. Kaelin asked him if he's calling a dog. No, my son. He's gone off somewhere, and I'm getting worried. Well, why not go after him? By way of explanation, the man showed her the stout walking sticks clutched in his hands. She saw that his legs were twisted. Walking isn't impossible, the man says in a factual manner. Just downright difficult. To keep track of that 10-year-old, I'd have to tie a rope to him. To cover Kaelin's embarrassment, Raul offered, do you know where he's gone? Maybe we can fetch him back. I'm afraid he's exploring the waste again. No matter how many times I warn him, his head is too full of Simon's nonsense to heed me. Simon was Janna's predecessor at the Temple of Hene, a kind man, but he filled my son's head full of stories from a play his mother was in, The Mantle of Love, I think it's called. Toddy thinks the waste is exciting. He just doesn't understand how dangerous it is. Kaelin promised to keep an eye out for the boy. Thanks, said Toddy's father. If you find him, tell him to come straight home or he'll feel my strap on his backside. Oh there, Adrian waved with an easy smile. Can't spare much time to chat right now, but remember, if you find a pearl, I'll find the time to run some maneuvers with you. I found some pearls. Crazy, huh, guys? Where did I find these? Let's see. Hermely is 46. This is 40, so I need... what do I need? So I need 60. 12 of them, right? I'd probably need like 12 of them, but I probably didn't get 12 of them. I mean, but come on now. How many pearls? Let's see how many I got. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's good enough. Obviously, I couldn't remember how many, what her Rolly was. Did I just throw it in a bag? By the way, the food that went bad, that was all the way back to Koro. Remember the cheese? So like at the end of Takoro, both the gold and the food gets split between Kaylin and William and Aaron. So we had cheese. Lots of cheese.
Come in and welcome to the Chapel of Hannah. Thanks. We can only stay a few minutes.
I guess you can't
Join
ask
me
her
in a
any
song
more
of
questions.
joy. Dewdrops on the spider web, sparkling in the morning sun. We've got to be going. Come on, Rawl.
But Kaylin, she's singing.
I know. Now let's go.
I tried. Fire wolf. Remember they telling you about those in the museum? Oh man, kinda wish I had brought something for fire immunity there. Oh well. Thanks, doggy. dogs just bite her every time. I admit to getting kind of lucky there. Like, she could have died there pretty easily. I mean, it wouldn't have made a big difference. I would go back and rest, but I mean, seriously. Halen grabbed the terrified boy. Are you all right? He nodded his head, his eyes round with fear. I guess so. You saved my life. Raoul tousled the boy's hair. Good thing we came along when we did. Those firewolves would have been mighty disappointed. There's not enough of you to make more than a mouthful. The boy started to cry. Raoul frowned uncomfortably. I'm sorry, I didn't mean. Kayla knelt down and took the boy's shoulders in her hands. I think you should go straight home. Your family must be worried about you. The boy sniffled, wiped his nose with the back of his hand, and took off running. Raoul said, I didn't mean to make him cry. Kayla reassured him. You didn't. Those were just tears of relief for a brother. If it weren't for you, he'd be doing his crying from inside a firewolf's belly. The crippled man greeted them at the door. Toddy came home in one piece. Thanks to you two. After the little talk I had with him, I don't think he'll try that stunt again. Here, maybe you better take this. Toddy's father handed Raoul a book entitled The Adventures of Carl Mastone. I want this book out of my house. I don't know where he got it, but it's been putting dangerous ideas in his head. You seem like the sort who might be able to put the information to better use. As Raoul browsed the pages, a flood of fond memories washed over him. The adventures of Carl Maston were a Joyman staple, whisking children and adults away to a mysterious region rife with unknown dangers and discoveries. This written version included details the Joyman left out, though, and Raoul found himself fascinated anew. So I guess it adds 3 to melee, 3 to stealth, and 3 to scouting. Well, let's let her read it. Here, go read it. Alright. She really needed some more melee, right, guys?
got a gut feeling about that.
So since I don't have a mage, basically I should always try to get the mages as soon as I see them. There's literally no reason why I would want this mage to cast spells. Let's go brawl. Can he take all 4 of them on his own? Find out in about 2 minutes. It's looking like the answer is no. I don't really need this that badly. I don't know why I took Valkyrie Serum. Okay. I might just have to risk getting struck by this mage, because we might have to continue with this tight formation right here. Again, we're extremely outnumbered and underleveled. Or maybe just stay here? So Valkyrie's Serum actually damages the person who takes it for like each turn, like almost like they're poisoned. But what's weird is Aelin does not get injured by it. There is no explanation why. I'm not sure if it's a bug in the game or if they have some kind of secret origin story for her. I have no idea. She doesn't take any damage. Or maybe she's taking some stamina? Okay, maybe she loses stamina. I don't know. Is this very little? I don't know. So yeah, she does take some damage. She is taking damage. Okay. So normally I'm gonna have to probably throw that stuff in the garbage because, yeah, I probably don't want to use that. But generally speaking, Valkyrie's Serum gives you much higher like attack power damage, and I guess like a lot higher. What is it? I'll show it off. Like a higher melee, and I believe higher damage as well. Yeah, higher damage because it gave her higher strength. It also increased her speed, too. She usually has 5 speed, so it gave her 6. I mean, not much of a boost to speed, but still. Joy, a beat puzzle. I want to get a drink of water and do some beat puzzle. Let's see. hard one. I think I'm gonna have to come back to this. I don't know. That was a really difficult one right here. Hate to reverse course, but I don't think I'm ever gonna come back here, like, ever again. Hard. Damn, this is hard. to the end. Seriously, I don't think I can solve this in